Hello, my name is Bria Walters, and welcome to Into the Weeds. Today I have Casey Jenkins with me. Casey, it's wonderful to have you here today.
It's wonderful to be here today, Bria.
Absolutely. So we're here talking about some plants, starting off strong. Tell me what first got you interested in plants?
Well, first off, my favorite color is green. Other than that, though, honestly, I'm not just interested in plants. I love plants. I think they're everything. I mean, they make up the basis of the ecosystem, of every ecosystem, almost every ecosystem. We use them for clothes, food, medicine, to feed our livestock. We use it for everything, and whatever we don't use it for, we probably could. And honestly, it makes me a little bit sad to know that not many people are as interested in plants as me.
Absolutely, yeah. And out of all the plants you currently own, do you have a favorite?
I would have to say that it's this one right here. She doesn't look like much right here because she's a houseplant, so they're definitely going to be smaller than their wild counterparts. But the just big leaves, and in the wild, they grow these giant flowers, bigger than my hand, and they're just so beautiful. I also got this from a friend who moved away, so there's also a little bit of the sentimental value for this plant.
For sure, and we'll get more into that later. But I've heard that plants can share nutrients with others through fungi. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Okay, yeah, this is really interesting. So when you think of a fungus, you usually think of like a little red mushroom, growing off of the ground or off of a dead tree or something. They break down decaying matter and make nutrients out of it. What a lot of people don't know is the main body of the mushroom isn't the thing you see poking out of the ground. It is these thin filaments of what we call mycelium that kind of spread through the forest floor like roots, or like if you imagine mold, like kind of like sinking into like dead wood. And what we see in old growth forests, when we look at like nutrient exchange, we see these fungus networks spreading throughout the entire forest floor, touching all the different tree roots. And what we see out of that is we see trees sending chemical signals through the mycelium networks and into other trees. They can send signals like, hey, I need more food, I'm dying, I need more sugars. Say there's a young tree nearby, and the parent tree might actually send it some extra nutrients to help it grow.
Absolutely. Well, that is so wonderful. And we're going to take a short break, and then we're going to run through these plants real quick.
"32 white teeth."
My dearest Jessica, love itself and drunkenness frequently collaborate, but the comparison is moot. Drunkenness, unlike love, is pleasant. So it is of most opposites that love at times must be drastic.
And welcome back to Into the Weeds. Casey, there's a lot of green right here. Could you tell me a little bit about the plants that we've brought today? We've already heard about this guy, so let's get into that.
All right, so we'll start off with this guy. This one right here, she is called the Queen of the Night, or the Princess of the Night. I had the scientific name thought up, but I'm forgetting it now.
That's okay. Queen of the Night's cool. That's like way more fun.
It is Princess Queen of the Night, whatever you want to call it. This plant right here, let's see. I already mentioned this giant flower that grows in the wild, but this plant also really enjoys climbing up the sides of trees. Another interesting thing about this is, I mentioned that the flowers are they're ginormous. You can see it compared to that guy's hand there. In the wild, they only bloom at night, and
The queen of the night.
Exactly, queen of the night. So it only blooms at night, and the reason for that is because it's pollinated by bats. So the bats
Okay.
will come swoop in. You know, they got the giant flowers. They're pretty heavy. They're mammals. So
Yeah,
you
it's
know.
sadly, even though we have all this green, we are running out of time already. So that I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Thank you so much, Casey, for stopping by and
course.
sharing these beautiful plants. My new favorite plant is the queen of the night, and we will see you next time on Into the Weeds.